All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Monday Motivation. Hope you're doing great out there. And, for those of us in the good old US of A, happy Independence Day coming up later on in the week. I know we have a lot of you who are not in the US, but for those of us in the US, happy Independence Day. So, guys, today we're going to talk about what must happen before you see weight loss on this scale. Because I get this question all the time, right? In 30 years, I've been doing this for 30 years, and in 30 years, the most common question I get is, why am I not losing weight? Hey, it's been 3-4 weeks and the scale isn't moving. I get that question every day. I get comments from clients every day. And here's the thing, guys, even when you're doing the right things, you can't hurry up a good thing. You just really need to understand that. You can't hurry up a good thing, right? You can't tell your body when to change. Your job is to continue to create the conditions necessary for your body to change. And your body will change when it's ready to, when those conditions are met. And I know that is the most frustrating thing. I've had several clients who say, well, I've got to lose weight now. Well, I understand that, and you will lose weight. But you will lose weight when your body is ready, because everything else is just temporary, right? If you do things just to see the scale move, you go on these crazy low-carb diets just to see the scale move, well, what do you think is going to happen when you start eating carbs again? All right? Are you going to stay on these low-carb diets the rest of your life? Right? Keto is a great strategy, but if you're doing it just to lose weight and then you're going to switch back to do something else, guess what? You're just going to regain the weight. Because when you eat carbs, your body holds on to water to store the glycogen in your muscle and in your liver. So you see, when you go on these crazy low-carb diets, you start eating again, your body starts holding on to more water, because that's a natural process. It has to do that. So you see, you always regain the weight. So our job is to focus on doing the things necessary to get your body to the point where it feels comfortable to let go of the weight. And guess what? When it gets to that point, then the results you get will last. Anything else, you do things just to get the scale moving, well, a couple months down the road, a month down the road, a couple of months down the road, you regain that weight. Because what you're doing is temporary. And that is not what we do here. As much as, I hear from some clients all the time, oh, this isn't going fast enough. Well, it's as fast as your body is able to go. Because here's the thing. There are things that must happen in your body before you see results on the scale. Glycogen depletion must happen to store glucose in your liver and your muscle tissue. Before your body burns fat, will it use up glycogen? That must happen. Hormonal rebalancing must happen. You must reduce inflammation. That must happen. Because, hey, your body can't fight inflammation and burn fat at the same time. Metabolic adaptation, right? This is your metabolism must adjust to the changes of your intake and activity, because, you think of all the things you've done in the past. That has just screwed up your body. Digestive regularity. You must improve digestion and decrease intestinal backup. You must improve mitochondrial efficiency. Now, I'm going to go through these so that you have a sense of what I'm talking about here. And you see all the things that must happen in your body. Right? Before your body burns fat, it burns glycogen. Glycogen is the first thing it goes. That's the stored form of glucose in your muscle tissue and in your liver. And your body hold on to about 3 to 4 grams of water in your muscles and in your liver. right? Because of that glycogen. And glycogen is used, well, your body used that to get you going, but your body used that primarily to support your organs and your brain, right? Your brain uses probably up more energy during the day than most other organs in your body. And your organs need to function. So your body needs to store glycogen for those things to happen. So for those of you out there who are constantly saying, hey, you need to put some starchy carbs in your diet, where do you think your body's going to get the energy from for your organs to function, for your brain to function? Where does it get it? Vegetables are very low energy foods, right? And your brain can only function on glucose, so not fat, right? So you see, the balance of what we're talking about here is important. Now, you know, the keto strategy is a very different strategy, because unless you're doing keto and you're getting your body into ketosis, then what you're doing, just cutting out carbs, is not serving you. Because keto is a very different process, and to do that effectively, well, you got to get your body into ketosis, and that's a very different process, right? So your body burns glycogen before it burns fat. And consequently, you know, you see a lot of people, they stop eating a lot of the high-calorie processed foods they used to eat. And, well, your body's going to burn up some of that glycogen, and it's also going to stop storing as much water because you're taking in less calories from those bad carbohydrates you used to eat, right? So your body's taking in less water. It's holding on to less water because you've changed up the way you're eating, right? You see the process here? So a lot of that early weight loss you're seeing, I'm sorry, but yes, it's water. It's your body using up glycogen and shedding water. So if you're losing 5 pounds your first week, much of that is just water. So don't get too giddy, as most people tend to. I lost 5 pounds my first week. Yes, your body is just rebalancing. The second and most important thing, one of the most important thing, right, is your body must achieve hormonal rebalancing. I've been talking about this last week with my group. If your hormones are out of whack, guess what? Fat loss will stall no matter how hard you work. Because, you see, your body isn't burning calories, it's responding. Well, I should say your body isn't just burning calories, it's responding to chemical messengers, your hormones. So your hormones initiate every process in your body. Your hormones are communicating with all the different areas of your body, from your brain to tell your organs and your tissue what to do. So if your hormones are off, your body is in survival mode. It's not in fat burning mode. And I want you to understand that your insulin level, your cortisol level, your leptin level, right? I talked about that in my group last week. If these are all off, then your body is not in fat burning mode. You're going to be storing fat because, you know, your levels are off. You're going to be storing more belly fat. You're going to have more cravings. It's going to lead to sleep disruption, right? If your leptin isn't working, guess what? The signal doesn't get to your brain that you're full. So you're always hungry, you're overeating. So hormonal rebalancing must happen before you can effectively burn fat. And that is a big one, because I tell you that the number one thing that we strive for is to create healthy hormones, because your hormones control every process of the fat burning process, right? Greater insulin sensitivity is required for fat loss to take place. Greater insulin sensitivity is required for your thyroid to function. Your thyroid controls your metabolism. Greater insulin sensitivity is required for leptin to function. Your leptin tells your brain when you're full. So see, all of these hormones are interrelated. And when they're off, and believe me guys, for those of you who are new here, your hormones are all out of whack. Because unless you've been living a healthy lifestyle, eating the right foods in the right amounts at the right time, your hormones are out of whack. Let's just cut to the chase. Your body isn't as healthy as it needs to be. A lot of you just starting, your body isn't healthy at all. And I tell you, the first job that you need to do is to get your body healthy. Because a healthy body is a better fat-burning body. If your body is dealing with hormonal imbalance, it's in survival mode. It's not focusing on fat burning. You got to get that happening before fat burning starts. Here's the next big thing. You got to reduce inflammation. Your body's got to reduce inflammation. Your body can't burn fat while it's busy fighting inflammation. It's in survival mode. It's in defense mode. So you must realize that when you're inflamed, your body is focused on healing and defense, not fat burning. That's what it's focused on. When you have a buildup of oxidative stress is the result of high levels of free radical activity in your body from a lot of stress, from eating a lot of processed foods, from pollution, from a generally unhealthy lifestyle. And let's face it, be honest with yourself. How many of you before you got here were really living a healthy lifestyle? So you see all the different areas that your body is still focused on healing. We got to focus on healing because highly processed foods, poor sleep, chronic stress, gut imbalances, poor recovery, all of these kinds of things have led to a buildup of inflammation in your body. And here's the thing you must understand. Inflammation traps water into your body like a sponge. Inflammation traps water in your body. It disrupts your hormones. It slows down your metabolism. It makes you feel puffy, tired, and stuck. But here's the good news. Reducing inflammation can trigger that whoosh effect where fat and water retention just drop and the scales start moving again. How does that happen? You start feeding the body the right foods in the right amounts at the right time. The right foods, plant foods. So you want this to happen faster for you? Then start adding 6 to 10 servings of fruit and veggies in your day. You're doing less than that? Then guess what? Yes, it's a slow process because you're not giving your body what it needs to heal. Your body needs to heal. It needs to heal the inflammatory effects of your poor lifestyle habits. So you need to be eating more berries, more leafy greens, more fatty fish like salmon. You need to be getting consistent sleep. Those of you who are still going to bed at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, how the hell is your body supposed to burn fat when it's in survival mode? I mean, just doing that, you're building up a lot of inflammation in the body. You're increasing your cortisol level. That is affecting everything. So if you're going to bed after midnight, hello, it doesn't matter what else you do. You're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So understand that all of these things matter. That is why you have all these habits I give you to practice for my clients. You got to focus on water. You got to focus on standing for 5 to 10 minutes every hour of the day because your body works better when it's upright as opposed to when you're sitting, right? You got to focus on moving, right? 5K to 10K steps during the day. That is what you want to work towards to keep your body moving. These are the habits that will lead to your body adjusting and burning fat. We talk about your body's got to burn up the glycogen before it gets to fat. How is it going to burn it up? Well, you get your body moving, it will burn up that stored glycogen. You get your body moving. 5K to 10K steps a day will get your body moving. It will burn up that glycogen, right? So it can get to fat burning. So don't think that you can just automatically use up that glycogen by not eating carbs. Well, that's a poor strategy. Because like I said, your organs and your brain use up most of the glycogen that your body stores. So these are the things that need to happen in order for you to start seeing results on the scale. We need to start getting your metabolism optimized, right? Metabolic adaptation. Your metabolism must learn how to burn again before the scale starts dropping. Because, like I said, most of you, before you got here, haven't been model citizens living a healthy lifestyle. You just have not. So your metabolism is probably down the tubes, just like your hormones are out of whack, just like you've got a buildup of inflammation in your body. So your body has to take care of all that. And a lot of you tell me that you've been yo-yo dieting. You've been on every dieting out there. If you've under-eaten, been sedentary for too long, your metabolism slows down to conserve energy. So right now your metabolism is probably at a crawl and you're wondering why you're not losing weight. Because you're not ready to lose weight. You haven't adopted the habits and gotten your body moving again, right? You may be doing the right things, and that is great. You're moving in that direction. But your body, just know it becomes efficient at holding on to fat, not burning fat. That is what it wants to do. That is the metabolic adaptation that takes place over years. Your body becomes efficient at holding on to fat. Not burning fat. It doesn't want to burn fat. Fat is like gold to your body, right? So before weight loss can happen, guys, your metabolism needs to feel safe again. Your body must relearn that it's okay to let go of stored energy. How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to get active again. You got to feed it. You got to move. You got to take care of it. You got to give it rest. You got to give it water. It's got to feel safe. It's like an animal that's been mistreated. It's got to learn to feel safe with you again. It's got to learn to trust you again. Before it can get back to the loving, it's got to learn to trust you. That is what your body has to learn to trust you again, right? Because metabolic adaptation is your body's way of protecting you. It's not broken, it's responding to your past. So your metabolism adapts to your habits. And the things you need to do to restore your metabolism, well, number one, you got to eat enough. Some of you just aren't eating enough because you're not eating any carbs. You think that you can just cut out the carbs and your meals are not well balanced. I keep telling the more complex your meals are with some protein, starchy carbs, lots of fibrous veggies, and healthy fats, the more complex your meals are, the more that will affect your metabolism because your metabolism has to work, your body has to work to break all that down. So that is what you do. You need to prioritize making sure that you're getting enough protein at your meals. Some of you ladies aren't. You're under eating on the protein. You need to be consistent. You got to stop starting and stopping. You got to be consistent with those habits. Right? Forget the chronic cardio, doing, some of you doing, hours of cardio a day. Forget about that. Again, that is not what it's about. It's not about more. It's about how you do things, right? To stimulate your metabolism, well, you got to build muscle, number one. Number two, you got to work on your fitness level. You don't work on your fitness level by doing hours and hours of cardio. That doesn't really work on your fitness level. You learn to slowly increase the intensity of what you do, but for those of you who are brand new, that's not what you want to focus on. You just want to focus on moving. getting your body active again. Here's another important factor that must happen. Digestive regularity. Regularity. A lot of you are constipated. If you're not going, you're not losing, period. If you're not going, you're not losing, because your gut plays a major role in weight loss. If you're constipated, bloated, or not digesting properly, well, guess what? The scale might stay stuck for a while, even if you're doing everything right. Because you may be losing fat. You need to understand that. You may be losing fat. But if waste is still sitting in your gut, the scale won't reflect your progress. If you're only going once or twice a week, guess what? You're constipated. You're holding on to a lot of waste. And you got to work on that. Maybe with abdominal massage and some of the other things that we've covered in the past to help you with that. More fiber in your diet, more plant foods. Like I said, those 6 to 10 servings of fruit and veggies a day, you get in the habit of doing that consistently daily. If you're dealing with any health situation, guys, if you're dealing with constipation, if you're dealing with diabetes, you're dealing with high blood pressure, you're on medication for all these different things, you need to be eating 6 to 10 servings of fruit and veggies daily. You need to increase those fibrous veggies. Yes, I know some of you who are dealing with gastroparesis and some other gut issues, we need to modify all that for you. But for the rest of you, that's what needs to happen, right? So you need to be eating more fiber-rich, green leafy veggies, the broccoli, the cauliflower, the kale, lots of berries, the fatty fish, drinking more water. You got to slowly increasing your water. You got to get up there. If you're dealing with all these, especially if you're dealing with constipation, you got to get to the point quickly where you're drinking half your body weight in water. You got to get there. Yes, I don't want you to do it right away. I want you to slowly increase one glass at a time. You got to get moving. Your body's got to be in motion. If you're not moving, you're not going. But you got to get to the point where you're doing abdominal massage daily. That will help you go. I would also recommend some fermented foods like the kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir. These are all great things for gut health. That will help you go. You see all the things that must happen before you start seeing results on the scale, right? Your body might just be holding on to water. Because if your body is inflamed, stress, or your hormones are off, it will hold on to water like a sponge, guys, right? You see, high cortisol from chronic stress or poor sleep, hormonal fluctuations, high sodium intake, intense exercise for prolonged periods without proper recovery. These are things that causes your body to hold on to water. And these are things that we need to focus on improving. Here's the final and, again, another big thing. Your body must improve mitochondrial efficiency before fat burning starts happening, right? Mitochondrial efficiency. Your fat burning engine has to work before it can burn. Now let's talk about the science, right? You don't burn fat in your muscles. You burn fat in your mitochondria. That's that tiny energy factory inside your cells. The mitochondria. And if that's not working, then guess what? You're not going to be burning any fat, right? So you have to upgrade your internal engine before your body becomes a fat-burning machine. Mitochondrial efficiency is your internal engine. And if you've been living a sedentary lifestyle, overeating on processed foods, exposed to a lot of toxins, alcohol, chronic stress, nutrient deficiency from, again, eating a lot of processed foods, you're not eating the right foods, guess what? You're probably dealing with mitochondrial efficiency. That energy factory inside your cells just isn't functioning the way it needs to. So we need to get that going again. right? We need to boost our mitochondrial function with some strength training to stimulate the mitochondria in the muscle cells, right? More of the plant foods so your body can get the B vitamins, the coenzyme Q10, the magnesium. These are the things that your body is getting from those plant foods I keep telling you that you need to eat more of. Plant foods is what's going to lead to greater mitochondrial efficiency. Plant foods is what's going to lead to reduction in inflammation in your body. Plant foods is what's going to lead to more regularity. Plant foods what's going to lead to your hormones rebalancing. You see how all this comes together? You see all the things that need to take place. Before the scale drops, your body is doing the work behind the scene. If the scale isn't moving yet, guys, a lot of you are panicking. Don't panic. Your body's working for you, not against you. It's working. You just need to keep supporting it. Fat loss is not just about calories in and calories out. It's about creating the right internal conditions so that your body feels safe enough to let go of stored fat. Remember, your body doesn't really want to burn fat. It wants to hold on to fat. Your body's very efficient at holding on to fat. So until you get your body to the place where it feels safe enough to let go of stored fat, you're not going to see the results on the scale. So just know that you're not failing. Your body is preparing to change. You're shifting gears from survival mode to fat burning mode. That is the mindset that you need to adopt. So when I tell you that when you're new here, it's not about weight loss. It's about creating the conditions necessary for your body to change. It's about balancing your hormones. It's about healing the buildup of inflammation. It's about optimizing your metabolism, right? It's about clearing waste and water retention. Until you do these are the foundation for fat loss. Until these things happen, you're not going to see results on the scale. The early results you see on the scale is probably just from water. Your body letting go of water because you stop stuffing it with those high-calorie processed foods you used to eat. Therefore, it's not holding on to as much water anymore, right? 3 to 4 grams of water to process carbs. So here's the thing. When all these things align, that's when the scale will catch up to the work you're doing. The scale will catch up to the work you're doing, and that is what needs to happen, right? Your body shifting needs to catch up to the habits you're practicing. Your habits must precede the results you're getting. Your body must adjust to meet you where you are. You can't expect to have great results when your habits aren't there. Your habits aren't consistent. That is just the recipe for short-term success, right? You're just getting some short-term weight loss. We're not into short-term here. We're into long-term. We're into creating the conditions necessary for your body to change, because when you do that, guys, when you do that, the results you get will last, because now your body is functioning at a whole new level. And it's just a matter of being consistent with your habits that your body will continue to function at that level and keep adjusting to where you are as you keep evolving, as you keep growing, as you keep getting healthier, fitter, stronger, better. That is your goal. Your goal isn't to focus on weight loss. Your goal is to get healthier, fitter, stronger, better. When you do that, your body will catch up. I guarantee it. Your body will catch up. The scale will catch up. Nobody ever remains at a plateau forever. Yes, it may happen a lot slower than you want it to. But like I said, your body will change at its own pace. It won't change at yours. No matter what you do, your body won't change at your pace. You can do gimmicks to see changes on the scale, but guess what? Those results are just temporary. So remember, your job is to focus on the conditions necessary, creating the conditions necessary for your body to change. That is all. Focus on that, and I guarantee you'll get great long-term results. Hope this has been helpful.